quorum shall be raised. So as we wait for that, the other priority business that this afternoon the members shall also be considering, there are statements that were requested to various relevant committees by various members, and this afternoon there are statements that will be responded to. Those statements include one that was sought by the Honorable Member for West Pokot County, Honorable Rael Kasiwai. This was about the status and jurisdiction of Aro Sub-County Administrative Unit. This is a response that will be given by the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security that will address some of the concerns and questions that the Honorable Member for West Pokot had raised in her statement. Also a statement that had been requested by the Honorable Member for North Horr, Honorable Ade Wario, regarding the continuous voter registration in North Horr constituency, also is coming up for response this afternoon by the Departmental Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs. The Departmental Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs will also respond to a statement that had been requested by the Honorable Member for Embakasi West, Honorable Mark Monje. This regards the alleged illegal voter transfer. The Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure will this afternoon give a response to a statement that was sought by the Honorable Member for Webuye East, Honorable Martin Pepela. Well, that is the Sergeant at Arms raising that paper. Just an indication that the quorum that was not present at the beginning of the House has now been attained.
Yes, we now have a quorum to transact business. Clerk.
Order number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Members on their feet, take your seats. Honorable members, allow me to introduce to you a delegation from the Parliament of the United Kingdom who are seated in the Speaker's Gallery. The delegation, which is drawn from diverse cross-party political spectrum of the UK, comprises the following: Honorable Flu Anderson, MP. When I mention your name, you stand for acknowledgement. Honorable Flo Anderson, MP, member of the Select Committee on Foreign Affairs and Labour, member of Parliament for Putney, and leader of the delegation. Right Honorable Richard Holden, MP. Honorable Richard Holden, MP, Shadow Secretary of State for Transport and Conservative Party member of Parliament for Basildon and Bilarisay. The Right Honorable Surena Breckenridge, MP, member Select Committee on Education and Labour Party member of Parliament for Wolverhampton North East. Honorable Peter Bedford, MP, member of the Select Committee on Work and Pensions and Conservative Member of Parliament for Mid Leicester. The delegation is accompanied by 3 staffers from the UK Parliament and officers from the British High Commission in Kenya. The delegation is visiting the National Assembly to engage with, among others, the Departmental Committee on Defense, Intelligence and Foreign Relations, the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security on areas of mutual interest, including regional security, trade and investment, climate and development cooperation, governance, and strengthening bilateral relations between our 2 nations. Honorable members, on my behalf and on that of the National Assembly, I welcome them to Parliament and wish them fruitful engagements. I also encourage them to serve Kenya's rich culture and tourism diversity. I thank you. Members at the bar, take the nearest seats. KJ, where's the nearest seat? Honorable members, honorable members, I wish to convey that my office is in receipt of a letter dated 13th March 2026 from Dr. John Kennedy Omanga, writing on behalf of tea farmers in the Nyeri County. In the letter, Dr. Omanga raises concern with the manner in which the House considered the Tea Amendment Bill, Senate Bill number 1 of 2023, and alleges that a member of Parliament significantly participated in the deliberations without declaring his interest as required by the law. Dr. Omanga claims to have followed the proceedings of the House on 12th March 2026 during consideration of the bill and raises concern with the contribution to the debate by the member for Gatundu South, the Honorable Gigi Kagombe MP, without declaring to the House that he is a sitting director of Theatre Tea Factory Company Limited, KTDA Holdings Limited, and Majani Insurance Brokers Limited. It is Dr. Omanga's claim that the operations of the three companies are a direct subject of the bill. Honorable members, in support of the claims, CR 12 forms for the three companies indicate that the honorable member is a director as from January 2026 and are attached to the letter. It is Dr. Omanga's claim that the failure by the honorable member for Gatundu South to declare his directorship of the three companies to the House compromises the debate on the bill and puts into question the validity of the proceedings taken. Standing orders. Article 73(2) of the Constitution entrenches selfless service based solely on the public interest as a guiding principle of leadership and integrity. The article further provides that selfless non-financial interests that would either affect or be seen to affect the discharge of their mandate. The paragraph provides, and I quote, Members of the House shall A. Register with the relevant speaker all financial and non-financial interests that may reasonably influence their parliamentary actions. B. Before contributing to debate in the House or its committees or communicating with state officers or other public servants, declare any relevant interest in the context of parliamentary debate or the matter under discussion. And C. Observe any rules agreed of the House in respect of financial support for members of the facilities of the House. 2. A relevant interest is an interest that may be seen by a reasonable member of the public to influence the way in which a member discharges his or her parliamentary duties. Additionally, honorable members, the standing orders adopted by the House expand the scope of the disclosure required to all personal interests. Standing Order 90 provides that personal interest includes proprietary interests, personal relationships, and business relationships. Consequently, the standing orders broaden the ethical obligations on members to include disclosure of both financial and non-financial interests that may reasonably give rise to a perception of bias, influence, or conflict. Honorable members, the provisions I have recited are not new to you. Members are fully aware of the ethical obligations relating to their office, which is a public trust. Indeed, my predecessor, Speaker Justin Muturi, had occasion to address this very matter exhaustively in a communication on declaration of interest issued on Tuesday, 9th May 2019. At the time, the chairperson of the then Departmental Committee on Education and Research had sought guidance on the interpretation of Standing Order 90 on 1, the manner in which members are to declare interest and in what form the declaration should be made. 2, whether a member who declares possible conflict of interest should be allowed to participate fully in the ensuing discussions of the committee. And 3, whether a member who declares a possible conflict of interest should take part in the vetting of a nominee for appointment to a public office. The request for guidance arose out of the deliberations of the then Education and Research Committee with officials from the Kenya National Union of Teachers, KNUT, and the Kenya Union of Post-Primary Education Teachers, KUPPET, at a time when part of members of the committee concurrently served in the governing organs of the two trade unions. Honorable members, while noting that the Constitution, relevant statutes, and the standing orders seek to engender a culture of probity and resolution of any personal interest in favor of the public interest, Speaker Muturi did guide in summary as follows. Standing Order 90 does not preclude members who have procedurally declared their interest in a matter from participating in the debate on the matter in the committee or the House. The only express prohibition to the exercise of a member's constitutional role is with regard to voting on a matter in which the member has a direct pecuniary interest under Article 122 of the Constitution, as qualified by Article 116.3 of the Constitution. 2, any member with interest on a matter under consideration should declare the interest before the commencement of the meeting or other time during debate, whenever the particular matter accuse themselves from the ensuing deliberations as may be directed. 3, Article 1223 of the Constitution does not grant a member the legally declare interest, proceed to fully participate in the ensuing debate, and only recuse himself or herself during voting. Upon declaration of interest, the chairperson of a committee or the speaker established practice of the House. This is assessed during the general of members at the commencement of the 13th Parliament and the committee inductions that followed thereafter. Hardly any sitting of the House is concluded without one or more members having declared their interests on the bill conducted by the House. In this regard, a concern raised by that particular has been transacted with disclosure of a relevant interest to serious. Honorable members, I have reviewed the records of the House and indeed those of the Departmental Committee on Agriculture and Livestock in the consideration of the bill in question. From the records, it's apparent that the Honorable Member for Gatundu South did declare that he is a director of a company in tea sector during proceedings of the committee in which he is a member. However, a review of the Hansard on Thursday, 12th March 2026, when the bill was partly considered in the Committee of the Whole House, revealed that the Honorable Kagombe did make substantive contributions on governance of tea factories and the proposed framework for their management and oversight without declaring his interest in accordance with the standing orders. The contributions were substantive and directly relate to the provisions under consideration. Without delving into the merits of Honorable Kagombe's contribution to the debate and its possible influence on the amendments considered by the Committee of the Whole House on the bill, you will agree that the member's failure to declare his obvious interest casts doubt on the probity of the deliberation. Any reasonable citizen would rightly question whether the declaration of interest would have influenced the House in its consideration of the bill. Honorable members, I am persuaded to some extent that the concern raised on the failure by the Honorable Kagombe to declare his interest are valid. Failure to address the concern may, in my view, cast any subsequent decisions taken on the bill in an unfavorable light. As the House is yet to dispense with the bill, an opportunity exists for the House to remedy the unfortunate and avoidable lapse by the Honorable Member. In this regard, I therefore direct that the Committee of the Whole House on the Tea Amendment Bill, Senate Bill number 1 of 2023, to be done afresh without any reference to the proceedings of 12th March 2026 on the bill at the appropriate time. Honorable Members, Standing Order 107A1E provides that the failure to declare personal interest in a matter before the House or a committee in accordance with the Standing Order 90 constitutes an act of disorderly conduct. Paragraph 2 of the Standing Order 107A empowers the Speaker to call a member whose conduct is disorderly to order and caution the member or order the member to withdraw from the precincts of the Assembly for a maximum of 4 days. I note that the Honourable Member for Gatundu South is currently serving his first term in Parliament. I will assume he was not aware that despite declaring his interest before the Committee on Agriculture and Livestock, he was still required and obligated to declare the same interest in the House during the consideration of the bill. In light of the directive for the Committee of the Whole on the bill to be redone, I caution the Honourable Kagombe for his conduct in this matter. I further take this opportunity to remind all members to strictly adhere to the ethical requirements of the high offices that have been entrusted to us by the public to avoid any recurrence of this unfortunate incident. The House is accordingly guided. Thank you. Yes, Millie?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for that clarity, because at one point I was a bit concerned because I thought we had actually dispensed with the bill, in which case then it should have gone to court. But given that we have not dispensed, I think it's a good thing that it comes back to the floor for consideration so that there is no doubt. And on that note, Mr. Speaker, I want to state, for avoidance of doubt, that on the Assisted Reproductive Technology Bill, I have consistently said that I have no child. However, I cannot declare interest beyond that, because even though I know in the prayer breakfast yesterday, there was a woman who had the children at 62, I am not yet 60, but I have no intention of having a child. So I'm not declaring.
You still have a chance.
I still have a chance. From what I heard yesterday, I still have a chance, but I have no intention. So because of that, I want to say that even so, I cannot declare my interest. Even though I've said I don't have a child and I've brought, there is no conflict, Mr. Speaker, because I have no intention of having a child. Mr. Speaker, I also want to indicate that perhaps you may have noticed, as a whip I must bring to the attention of the House, that our women MPs are not here. But they'll be joining us shortly because they are attending the presidential launch of the Every Woman, Every Newborn, Everywhere Accelerated Plan and Maternal and Newborn Health Rapid Results Initiative to help us deal with the challenges, reproductive issues that women face, and also to protect our children. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Did you say women MPs are not here, or some women MPs are not here?
Some women MPs, even though somebody like me, I'm a man, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Chungwa.
Speaker, allow me to first commend you for that communication, and also to note that you have opted in your communication not to take any action against the disorderly conduct of Honorable Kagombe. And being a member of my coalition, to thank you for sparing him the rod. But that should be no excuse, Honorable Speaker, in the future. Yes. Because the Parliamentary Service Commission, which you chair, conducted an extensive induction program for members of Parliament, including our new members of Parliament. But probably these are some of the things that we take for granted, that you don't find it important to declare interest in a matter, especially in a matter where you have pecuniary interest. And the fact that Honorable Kagombe had pecuniary interest in the tea sector, he ought to have his
not
interest.
One, but three.
Three companies, insurance brokers, Theta Tea Factory, and KTDA, or something. But Honorable Speaker, may this be a lesson to the rest of us that must declare any interest that we hold, and especially where we have pecuniary interest. And I say this because in the run-up to the finance bill, Honorable Speaker, I also see a lot of these things happening. Those who have interest in betting companies running all over, trying to lobby colleagues to support proposals, especially around the betting industry. And not just betting industry, even some who are in the manufacturing industry. We have resisted as a House leadership. Honorable Speaker, we have resisted, and I say this speaking also for the whips, both on the majority and the minority side, the desire by many members to be placed in committees where they have pecuniary interest. And I know these leaders are usually under immense pressure because people want to sit in committees where they have interest. And that is the reason why, Honorable Speaker, the clerk's office usually asks for our CVs when you are newly elected. So we know where you have pecuniary interests. Therefore, spare us the urge and the pressure to sit you in committees where you have interest. We will continue to resist that pressure, Honorable Speaker. But I was just saying, let me commend you for that communication. But more importantly, Honorable Speaker, you have taken decisive measures as the Speaker of this 13th Assembly to continue to protect the dignity of this House. Because such a matter speaks to the dignity of the House. The other matter that came before this House on the Public Investments Committee on Governance and Education, that is now before the Powers and Privileges Committee, Honorable Speaker, again, the decision that was taken by the House was a decision that protects the dignity of the House. Because when one of us gets out of line in whatever nature, whether it's on a matter like this where you don't declare interest, it is the House that looks bad. And I wanted to thank you, Honorable Speaker, because you are indeed protecting the dignity of all of us and this House as an institution. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
And honorable members, I encourage you to read and reread again the Conflict of Interest Act that you passed in this House. It will help you. Honorable members, allow me to acknowledge 1 minute. In the Speaker's Gallery, Itigo Girls High School from Chesumei, Nandi, Njega Boys School from Kirinyaga Central, Kirinyaga. And in the public gallery, Oiti Glory School from Kajiado Central, Kajiado. St. Anselm Mururi from Mara, Tharaka Nithi. Seroilipi School from Samburu East, Samburu. On my behalf and on behalf of the House, we welcome the students, their teachers, and those accompanying them to the House. Honorable members, also allow me, on my behalf and on behalf of the House, to welcome your colleague, Ferdinand Kevin Wanyonyi, the Member of Parliament for Kwanza constituency in Trans Nzoia County. As you are aware, the Honorable Ferdinand has been having serious health challenges which Parliament took him to a hospital in India where he underwent treatment. He's come back. Unfortunately, currently, Honorable Ferdinand has a challenge with his speech and is going through speech therapy. But we thank God that he's back, just like our Honorable Member for Mosop did. And we welcome you back, Ferdinand, to the House. And the condition in which Ferdinand is now also challenges the management of Parliament to think about sign language in the proceedings of the House. Because as it is now, the vocals of Honorable Ferdinand are not working. He can hear what you say, but is not able to speak back. So sign language at some point will be handy. Welcome, Honorable Ferdinand. You may now take your seat. Next order.
Order number 3, messages.
Yes, what did you call? Thank you. Members on their feet, take your seats. GK, take the nearest seat. Honorable members, I have a message from the executive. But pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 42.4, I wish to report to the House that I have received a message from the Cabinet Secretary for the National Treasury and Economic Planning regarding the nomination of persons for appointment to the National Government Constituencies Development Fund Board. In the message, the Cabinet Secretary conveys that in exercise of powers conferred to him by Section 15(1)(e) of the National Government Constituencies Development Fund Act, Cap 414A, he nominates the following persons for appointment to the National Government Constituencies Development Fund Board. 1, Ms. Komora Nzunzu. 2, Ms. Manyanga Yvonne Boyani. 3, Mr. Mutua Fidelis Kiketi. And 4, Mr. Morris Putita Kaaka. The Cabinet Secretary now seeks the approval of the National Assembly as required under Section 15(1)(e) and 4 of the National Government Constituencies Development Fund Act, Cap 414A. Honorable members, Standing Order 45 provides that, and upon receipt of notification of a nomination for appointment, such nomination shall stand committed to the relevant committee for consideration. In this regard, I refer the message from the Cabinet Secretary together with the CVs and other testimonials of the nominees to the National Government Constituency Development Fund Committee for consideration. The National Government Constituency Development Fund Act, Cap 414A, does not have the period for the approval of nominees to the board by the National Section 8 of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act, Cap 7F, provides that unless otherwise provided, the committee to which such nomination shall consider and table a report within 28 days. The committee is there to immediately commence the process and not nominees and the general public of the time and place for holding the approval hearings, and thereafter table its report to enable the House to consider the matter within the set time. You are accordingly guided. I thank you. Yes, Honorable Millie.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I on behalf of, on my own behalf, Mr. Speaker, and on behalf of the people of Suba North, I welcome back Honorable Ferdinand. And indeed, you've raised a very cardinal issue about the issue of communication, especially in Braille. But perhaps it should not just be limited to members who have challenges. Perhaps it's a challenge that the entire Parliament should take up, because we do not know when this. I've actually seen situations where members came when they were walking and they left this house when they are disabled, and we've seen Honorable Ferdinand now can't talk. So it's really a challenge for all of us to be able to communicate even with our persons who are other people who are differently abled. But Mr. Speaker, I just wish to note that unfortunately today we lost so far a record 16 girls in Utumishi Academy. And Mr. Speaker, I wish to request whether the House could observe a moment of silence for our lost girls. It's a very unfortunate incident that has faced us today as a country. And of course, I'm sure we will be talking about it later, about issues of security and safety of our girls and some of the challenges that we're already noting, emergency response. But for now, Mr. Speaker, I just wish for us to, if agreeable, Mr. Speaker, if we could just observe a moment of silence for the girls who have died. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Indeed, the tragedy in Gilgil is something that the House takes note. And before I say something, Milemba Omboko.
Honorable Speaker, thank you for this chance as we welcome Honorable Wanyonyi back. It opens a space within the labor sector where we have people who actually assist those who may not be having speech or any other forms of abilities to execute their work. We have so many of them in the teaching sector, like the caregivers, who currently are struggling to get a place in proper law and be remunerated. There's a section that is remunerated, yes, but you can now see, Honorable Speaker, that possibly Parliament needs to come up with a proper law to also deal with such a situation which may arise among ourselves, so that we have caregivers and assistants and who have to get a law to remunerate them on they will actually work as a member. So, which has been very prominent in the teaching sector, now also coming into Parliament, and possibly we should consider that. As I conclude, I also want to wish the very best for the parents and the students and everybody else who is in that space of the Utumishi girls where we lost very, very many students. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Allow me also on behalf of the people of Funyula to sincerely thank the National Assembly and Parliament in general of Kenya for having spent all the time and fortunes and resources to ensure our colleague Honorable Ferdinand Wanyonyi recovers both whichever way and is able to continue with his activities and life. We as the people of Funyula have got attachment to Honorable Wanyonyi because the spouse comes from Funyula constituency, and we continuously prayed for his quick recovery because we knew any eventuality would have affected us likewise as would have affected people of Kwanza. Secondly, Honorable Speaker, the issue of hearing impairment is becoming a big matter, especially as Honorable Milemba has said, on the issue of learners. Personally, I have about 5 or so cases of boys and girls in both senior school and junior secondary school who have got hearing impairment, and as we were looking for an opportunity to look for Honorable Nyikal, Dr. Nyikal, the chair, to give policy decision direction on how this can happen. Finally, also want to join the people of Kenya in passing our sincere condolences to the girls who lost their life at Utumishi Girls Academy, Gilgil. When the news filtered in the morning, Honorable Speaker, whatever energy had mustered, whatever courage had mustered to attend National Prayer Day just dissipated and decided to stay in the house and commensurate with the parents and the guardians and the school fraternity. Children should go to school to learn, acquire knowledge. Children should never go to school to die in school. For the fraternity and the parents, on my behalf and the behalf of people of Funyula constituency, tunasema pole sana, pole sana, pole sana. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Robert Mbui.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I also want to join my colleagues in passing a message of condolence for the families, friends, neighbors, and everyone who has been affected in one way or the other by the tragedy that has befallen our children. Mr. Speaker, I also want to welcome back our colleague, the Honorable Wanyonyi Ferdinand, member for Kwanza, and wish him a quick recovery. My grandfather went through a stroke of that nature, and later on he was able to recover. So it is possible that he could come out of it and be able to speak. Mr. Speaker, when I was injured after the 2017 elections, Honorable Wanyonyi actually is one of the first members of parliament to come and see me in hospital. And Mr. Speaker, I remember at that period I had an issue because one of my legs was completely broken, so I had to be on crutches for a period of several months. And Mr. Speaker, I did attempt at that time to ask Parliament to support me because, you know, when you're on crutches, even when it comes to serving food in a hotel, you can't be able to hold your crutches and carry a plate. So I asked Parliament to support me and give me someone to assist me for that period. And Mr. Speaker, the answer I got was very interesting from the Parliamentary Service Commission. They asked me to register with there's a commission for disability. And Mr. Speaker, I knew that my problem was not going to be permanent. At that time, we had Honorable David Sankok in the House, and he was calling himself my chairman. But I refused because I knew even though there were benefits that I would get out of the registration, it wouldn't have been a fair thing. So, Mr. Speaker, we ask the Parliamentary Service Commission to consider through. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Robert, as the chair of PSC, that is in the Human Resource Manual guidelines from SRC and I think the Minister of Labor. Even for Honorable Samal, Honorable Tim Wanyonyi, Honorable Bishop Kosgei, and now Ferdinand, to get support, you have to get a certificate from the organization you have cited. I've had also 2 cases members have asked to be given support for being disabled, and when we have sent them for checkup as required by the law, the doctors have declared them not being not disabled. So it also helps. And if you are a decent person like I know you are, when you recover fully and you throw away your crutches, you return the certificate and inform the House accordingly. Yes, Murugara?
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I just want to thank you personally because of what you did to Honorable Ferdinand Wanyonyi. Not once, not twice, I must have seen you in India, going to visit him to confirm his health status and well-being and to ensure that he gets the best of treatment in that particular hospital. Mr. Speaker, I think that is best of servant leadership, that as you serve these people, you really have to go down and ensure that they are taken care of. And I associate myself with the sentiments expressed that Honorable Wanyonyi has now lost his voice and he needs special care and attention as we move about the business of the House. Everybody knows Honorable Wanyonyi was one of the best debaters in this House, contributors to motions, and therefore he needs to be enabled so that he can continue doing what he does best. Secondly, I also join the rest of the country in mourning those young angels of Utumishi Girls Secondary School who lost their lives. Sincere condolences from me and the people of Tharaka, because these angels were innocent and that was just but a fire tragedy that has now caused us grief. As we pray that their souls rest in peace, we also pray that we do the best we can as a country to support the parents, to support the traumatized girls who have been left behind, who require our care and attention so that they are able to return their lives to normalcy. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable members, on the request of the Honorable Millie, and I have no doubt on behalf of the member for Gilgil, the Honorable Mother Wangari, who I saw on TV in Gilgil trying to assist the families, shall we be upstanding and observe a minute's silence? May the souls of those little angels rest in eternal peace, and may those who are injured have quick recovery. Thank you. Next order.
Order number 4, petitions.
Members on their feet, take your seats. Honorable members, is of Kipkabu's public fund claim. Honorable members, Article 119 of the Constitution, the right to petition to consider any matters within its other, Standing Order 2252B, requires the Speaker to report to the House any petition other than those presented by a member. In this regard, honorable members, I wish to report to the House I received a petition from the Principal Secretary, Minister of Environment, Climate Change and Forestry regarding the regularization of various public forest claims. Honorable members, the petitioner states that Environment, Climate Change and Forestry received a presidential directive by reference number OP CAB 26/1/3A/volume 11/7, dated 17th July 2025, on processing and issuance of title deeds for it, the settled residents of Kipkabu's Forest, Elgeyo Marakwet County. Further, the petition states that the Cabinet had sanctioned the petition by letter reference CAB 1581 Rev dated 22nd November 2016, and the Kenya Forest Service Board reference KFS Board 5/2025-447 dated 22nd January 2025. The petition avers that the Kipkabu's Forest covers 10,420.1 hectares, which includes Kipkabu's Forest land measuring 6,503.6 hectares, gazetted via legal notice number 57 of 1941 and divided into 5 blocks, namely Kipkabu's measuring 2,733.2 hectares, Tingwa measuring 914.6 hectares. Tumeyo, measuring 581.5 hectares. Kapchorwa, measuring 287.3 hectares. And Metikei, measuring 1,987.0 hectares. East African Tanning Extract Company, measuring 3,916.6 hectares, gazetted with legal notice number 2378 of 2nd September 1977 as an addition to Kipkabu's forest. The petitioner contends that the forest areas have diminished through non-formalized acquisitions, exchanges, and encroachments, hence the need to institute the regularization of settled areas through due process of the law to save the forest from degradation. Honorable members, the petitioner further states that in view of the long-standing settlement and historical government-sanctioned resettlement, the ministry is petitioning the National Assembly to approve the degazettement of the occupied portions of Kipkabu's forest to allow for survey, adjudication, and issuance of title deeds to bona fide residents while preserving the remaining forest for conservation. Honorable members, the petitioner concludes by praying that the National Assembly A urgently approves the variation of the boundaries of the public forest of Kipkabu's of approximately 4,112.2 hectares, and B, Parliament considers the petition and issues appropriate resolutions in accordance with Article 119 of the Constitution and Section 34 of the Forest Conservation and Management Act, Cap 385. Honourable members, having confirmed that the issues raised in this petition fall squarely within the jurisdiction of this House, and that they are not before any court or constitutional body, I hereby commit the petition to the Departmental Committee on Environment, Forestry and Mining. The committee is to expeditiously consider the petition and report to the House in accordance with the Petitions to Parliament Act, Procedure Act, Cap 7E, Section 34 of the Forest Conservation and Management Act 2016, Cap 385, and Standing Order 2272. I thank you. The next one, honorable members, is regarding freedom of succession law. Reform of succession law and administration of estates in Kenya. Honorable members, Article 119 of the Constitution accords any person the right to petition Parliament to consider any matter within its authority. Further, Standing Order 2252B requires the Speaker to report to the House any petition other than that presented by a member. In this regard, I wish to report to the House that my office has received a petition from the former governor for Taita Taveta County, Engineer John Murutu, ID number 48-62, and 22 others regarding reform of succession law and administration of estates in Kenya. Honorable members, the petitioner states that a substantial proportion of productive assets in Kenya, particularly land, remain registered in the names of deceased persons due to delayed succession processes. And in many instances, the process is not completed for periods ranging from between 20 and 40 years after the passing on of persons holding the assets. The petitioners aver that succession procedures under the current legal framework are complex, costly, and inaccessible to ordinary citizens. Further, that such procedures involve multiple steps, including court filings, gazettement, legal representation, valuation, and registers with barriers to success. The petitioners that the delayed economic growth as it hits of assets as collateral, transfer efficiency, and investor confidence. This has led to limited access to credit, reduced agricultural productivity, increased disputes, pressure on the judiciary, and inefficiencies in asset markets. Honorable members, the petitioners submit that although succession is fundamentally a legal and administrative matter governed by the law of Succession Act Cap 160, the current legal and administrative framework does not adequately facilitate accessible, affordable, and timely succession procedures. Honorable members, the petitioners state that the international experience demonstrates that simplified procedures, administrative settlement mechanisms, decentralized probate services, and digitization can significantly improve outcomes while safeguarding beneficiaries. The petitioners therefore pray that the National Assembly, through the Public Petitions Committee, initiates a review and amendment of the Law of Succession Act Cap 160 to provide for simplified succession procedures for small estates, administrative settlement of uncontested estates, as well as expanded and decentralized probate services across the country. 2, calls for review and rationalization of costs associated with succession processes, promotion of digitization, and integration of succession, civil registration, and land administration systems, and strengthening of mediation and alternative dispute resolution mechanisms in succession matters. And 3, takes any other legislative and administrative measures necessary to facilitate timely, accessible, and equitable succession processes in Kenya. Honorable members, having determined that the matters raised by the petitioners are well within the authority of the House, I hereby commit the petition to the Public Petitions Committee for consideration pursuant to Standing Order 208A. The committee is required to consider the petition and report its findings to the House and the petitioners in accordance with the Standing Order 2272. I thank you. Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
Majority Leader.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Thursday, 28 May 2026. Number 1, legal notice number 89 of 2026 relating to the National Cybersecurity Agency Order 2026 from the Ministry of Interior and National Administration. Number 2, annual report of the Office of the Controller of Budget for the financial year ended 30th June 2025. Number 3, quarterly economic and budgetary review, third quarter for the financial year 2025-2026 from the National Treasury. Number 4, special audit report of the Auditor General on Public Investment Management Information Systems. Number 5, the 2026 Economic Survey Report, the popular version, and facts and figures from the National Bureau of Statistics. And number 6, annual report of the National Gender and Equality Commission, NGEC, for the financial year 2020 to 2025. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and I lay.
Chairperson, Public Petitions Committee, Kitayama.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Thursday, 28 May 2026. Reports of the Public Petitions Committee on its consideration of 1, Public Petition number 78 of 2023 by Mr. Bernard Mushere regarding National Health Insurance Fund eligible in card but not reported IBNR claims of over Kenya shillings 21 billion captured in the financial year ending 30th June 2022. 2, Public Petition number 81 of 2023 by the Honorable Owen Yabaya, CBS, MP, regarding gazettement of Kaya Forest as forest areas under the Forest Conservation and Management Act. 3, Public Petition number 9 of 2024 by the Honorable Mark Mwenje, CBS, MP, regarding ownership dispute of land parcel number LR number 209-11970 Dandora/Moulem, Nairobi. 4, Public Petition number 18 of 2024 by the Honorable Brighton Yegon, the CBS MP, regarding hydropower generation by Kenya Tea Development Authority. 5, Public Petition number 3 of 2025 by the Honorable John Bwire MP, regarding alleged illegal acquisition of trust land, LR number 9 of 1963 by the government in Taita County. 6, public petition number 13 of 5 by the Honorable Sarah Korere, CBS, MP, regarding revocation of Mukongo for reserve as a public interest.
On the 11th February 2026, and pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 28-4 on calendar of the Assembly, this House resolves to alter its calendar as follows. 1. Commence the short recess of the second part of the 5th session on Friday, 3rd July 2026 until Monday, 27th July 2026. 2. Resume regular sittings of the second part of the 5th session on Tuesday, 28th July 2026 until Thursday, 27th August 2026. 3. Commence the long recess of the second part of the 5th session on Friday, 28th August 2026. 4. Commence the third part of the 5th session, regular sittings on Tuesday, 29th September 2026 until Thursday, 22nd October 2026. And 5, commence the short recess of the third part of the 5th session on Friday, 23rd October 2026 until Monday, 2nd November 2026. Honorable Speaker, this alteration of the calendar emanates from the fact that we altered our recess because of the national prayer breakfast that we had this morning. We had to alter our recess, and you remember we have resumed a week earlier. So in order to balance off the weeks, you remember, members will recall that we usually do about 5 weeks. We take a break of about 2 weeks or 3 weeks. then resume for another session of about 5 weeks. So we are just realigning our calendar so that it fits into that arrangement, and we maintain the same timelines towards the end of the session in December. In December, Honorable Speaker, early December, the first week of December, when we take the long recess, and also considering that next year we'll have to resume a bit earlier, at least 2 weeks earlier, because of the elections of later that year. With that, Honorable Speaker, I beg to move and request the Honorable Junet Mohammed, the Leader of Minority, to second.
Junet?
Mr. Speaker, I second.
Thank you. Take your seat. Mole, take your seat. Naomi Wako, take this nearest seat. Honorable members, I propose the question at order number 8, which is that notwithstanding the resolution of the House of 11th February 2026, and pursuant the provisions of Standing Order 28-4, calendar of the Assembly, this House resolves to alter its calendar so as to 1. Commence the short recess of the second part of the 5th session on Friday, 3rd July 2026 until Monday, 27th July 2026. 2. Resume regular sittings of the second part of the 5th session on Tuesday, 28th July 2026 until Thursday, 27th August 2026. 3. Commence the long recess of the second part of the 5th session on Friday, 28th August 2026. 4. Commence the third part of the 5th session, regular sittings on Tuesday, 29th September 2026 until Thursday, 22nd October 2026. And 5. Commence the short recess of the third part of the 5th session on Friday, 23rd October 2026 until Monday, 2nd November 2026. I put the question, and I confirm that this matter has been approved through the House Business Committee. Honorable members, I now put the question at order number 8, which is that notwithstanding the resolution of the House of 11th February 2026, and pursuant the provision of Standing Order 28-4, calendar of the Assembly, this House resolves to alter its calendar so as to 1. Commence the short recess of the second part of the 5th session on Friday, 3rd July 2026 until Monday, 27th July 2026. 2. Resume regular sittings of the second part of the 5th session on Tuesday, 28th July 2026 until Thursday, 27th August 2026. 3. Commence the long recess of the second part of the 5th session on Friday, 28th August 2026. 4. Commence the third part of the 5th session regular sittings on Tuesday, 29th September 2026 until Thursday, 22nd October 2026. And 5. Commence the short recess of the third part of the 5th session on Friday, 23rd October 2026 until Monday, 2nd November 2026. As members of that opinion say aye. Aye. Will those of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next order.
Order number 9, motion, reconstitution of specified committees.
Majority Leader, Chairperson, Committee on Selection.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that notwithstanding the resolutions of the House on Wednesday, 5th March 2025, Thursday, 6th March 2025, Tuesday, 29th July 2025, and Tuesday, 24th February 2026, appointing members to various committees and pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 175, this House resolves to A, reconstitute the Public Investments Committee on Governance and Education as follows: the Honorable Ongondo Boyd Were MP, 2 Honorable Karido Kili Daniel MP, 3 Honorable Bonaya Mumina Golo MP, 4 Honorable Mwenje Mark Samuel CBS MP, the Honorable Wamashukuru James Gidua Kamau CBS MP, the Honorable Engineer Zambia Kidua Thaddeus MP, 7 the Honorable Bissau Morris Kakai MP, the Honorable Idhinji Shadrack Mwiti MP, the Honorable Chifromodo Mangale Munga MP, the Honorable Alpha Ondieki Miruka, CBS MP, the Honorable Sigei Francis Kipyagon, Arab MP, the Honorable Tubi, Mohammed Tubi MP, the Honorable Tongei, Rebecca Nonaishi MP, the Honorable Kirima Moses Ngushine MP, the Honorable Oyugi Dick Maungu MP, and B, approve the appointment of the following members to the respective committees as specified hereunder. Other select committees on the Constitutional Implementation Oversight Committee, the Honorable Mwangi Teresia Wanjiro MP to replace the Honorable Mukunji John Gitonga MP, and 2, the Honorable Keter David Kipsang MP to replace the Honorable Kitur Bernard Kibor MP. B, on Committee on National Cohesion and Equal Opportunity, the Honorable Amboka Jack Wanami, CBS MP to replace the Honorable Oyugi Dick Maungu MP. C, Committee on Members' Services and Facilities, the Honorable Mukunji John Gitonga MP to replace the Honorable Teresia Wanjiro MP. On Financial Audit and Money-Related Committees, D, Special Funds Accounts Committee, the Honorable Koi John Waluka, CBS MP to replace the Honorable Otucho Mary Emase MP. E, Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning, the Honorable Amushomba Gadoni, HSC MP to replace the Honorable Maina Betty Njeri MP. Departmental Committee on Housing and Urban Planning and Public Works, the Honorable Tonui Joseph Kipkosgei MP to fill a vacancy in the committee. G, Departmental Committee on Regional Development, the Honorable Keter David Kipsang MP to replace the Honorable Wamushomba Gadoni, HSC MP. Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure, the Honorable Maina Betinjeri MP to fill a vacancy in the committee. And I, the Departmental Committee on Communication, Information and Innovation, the Honorable Tubi Mohammed Tubi MP to replace the Honorable Tonui Joseph Kipkosgei MP. And lastly, J, Departmental Committee on Education, the Honorable Kombe Harrison Garama MP to replace the Honorable Oyugi Dick Maungu MP. Honorable Speaker, as you directed when we were beginning this session, in your direction to the Committee of Selections and the whips to accommodate the new MPs who are no MPs, who are no committees to sit in, the Selections Committee met and under the guidance of the whips, reconstituted the committees as has been stipulated on the order paper, and we have now accommodated all the new MPs into committees. And Honorable Speaker, as you're also aware, there is still a vacancy for the Member of Parliament for Kalau, whom we unfortunately lost, and we have left a bit of vacancies, and therefore we do hope that immediately after changes that may emanate from that by-election as we accommodate that new member. There are a bit of realignments of to move and request the Honorable Junet Mohammed, the leader of minority, to second.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I stand to second the motion. These changes of the committees, Mr. Speaker, were majorly occasioned by the new member, the two new members who joined us in the recent by-elections, the Member of Parliament from Imorwa Dikir and the other Member of Parliament from Isiolo North. So a few more, and then also the member for Magarini have not gotten proper placement in committees. So with those few changes, then it's the occasion that we will do another one again after the by-election of this Olkalau. So, Mr. Speaker, with those few remarks, I rise to second.
Members on their feet, take your seats. Take the nearest seat. Member on his feet, talking to Amashukuru. Honorable members, I'll now propose the question at order number 9, which is that notwithstanding the resolution of the House of Wednesday, 5th March 2025, Thursday, 6th March 2025, Tuesday, 29th July 2025, and Tuesday, 24th February 2026, appointing members to various committees. And pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 175, this House resolves to A. Reconstitute the Public Investments Committee on Governance and Education as follows. 1. The Honorable Ongondo Boyd Were MP. 2. The Honorable Karido Kiili Daniel MP. 3. The Honorable Bonaya Mumina Golo MP. 4. The Honorable Mwenje Mark Samuel CBS MP. 5. The Honorable Wamashukuru James Gidhua Kamau CBS MP. 6. The Honorable Engineer Nzambia Gidhua Thaddeus MP. 7. The Honorable Bissau Morris Kaka MP. 8. The Honorable Idhinji Shadrack Mwiti MP. 9. The Honorable Chiforomondo Mangale Munga MP. 10. The Honorable Alpha Ondie Kimiruka CBS MP. 11. The Honorable Sigei Francis Kipyegon Arab MP. 12. The Honorable Tubi Mohammed Tubi MP. 13. The Honorable Tonkei Rebecca Nunaishi MP. 14. The Honorable Kirima Moses Ngushine MP. 15. The Honorable Oyuki Dick Maungu MP. Approve the appointment of the following members to the respective committees as specified hereunder. Other select committees. A. Constitution Implementation Oversight Committee. 1. The Honorable Mwangi Teresia Wairime MP to replace the Honorable Mukunji John Gitonga MP. 2. The Honorable Keter David Kipsang MP to replace the Honorable Kitur Bernard Kibor MP. B. Committee on National Cohesion and Equal Opportunity, the Honorable Amboka Jack Wanami CBS MP to replace the Honorable Oyugi Dick Maungu MP. C. Committee on Member Services and Facilities, the Honorable Mukunji John Gitonga MP to replace the Honorable Mwangi Teresia Wanjiru MP. Finance, Audit, and Money-Related Committees. D. Special Funds Accounts Committee. The Honorable Koi John Waluke CBS MP to replace the Honorable Otucho Mer Emase MP. E. Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning. The Honorable Wamshomba Gadoni HSC MP to replace the Honorable Betty Maina Njeri MP. F. Departmental Committee on Housing, Urban Planning, and Public Works. The Honorable Tonui Joseph Kipkosgei MP to fill a vacancy in the committee. G. Departmental Committee on Regional Development, the Honorable Keter David Kimsang MP to replace Honorable Wamshomba Gadoni HSC MP. H. Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure, the Honorable Maina Betty Njeri MP to fill a vacancy in the committee. I. Departmental Committee on Communication, Information, and Innovation, the Honorable Tubi Mohammed Tubi MP to replace the Honorable Tonui Joseph Kipkosgei MP. J. Departmental Committee on Education, the Honorable Kombe Harrison Garama MP to replace the Honorable Oyugi Dick Maungu MP. Do I put the question? Honorable members, I'll now put the question at order number 9, which is that notwithstanding the resolutions of the House of Wednesday, 5th March 2025, Thursday, 6th March 2025, Tuesday, 29th July 2025, and Tuesday, 24th February 2026, appointing members to various committees and pursuant the provisions of Standing Order 175, this House resolves to A. Reconstitute the Public Investments Committee on Governance and Education as follows. 1. The Honorable Ngondo Boyd Were MP. 2. The Honorable Karido Kiili Daniel MP. 3. The Honorable Bonaya Mumina Golo MP. 4. The Honorable Mwenje Mark Samuel CBS MP. 5. The Honorable Mashukuru James Gidhua Kamau CBS MP. 6. The Honorable Engineer Nzambia Gidhua Thaddeus MP. 7. The Honorable Bissau Morris Kaka MP. 8. The Honorable Idhinji Shadrack Mwiti MP. 9. The Honorable Chiforomondo Mangale Munga MP. 10. The Honorable Alpha Ondie Kimiruka CBS MP. 11, the Honorable Sigei Francis Kipyegon, Arab MP. 12, the Honorable Tubi Mohammed Tubi MP. 13, the Honorable Tonkei Rebecca Nunaishi MP. 14, the Honorable Kerima Moses Mbushine MP. 15, the Honorable Oyuki Dick Maungu MP. Approve the appointments of the following members to the respective committees as specified hereunder. Other select committees: A, Constitutional Implementation Oversight Committee, the Honorable Mwangi Teresia Wanjiru, MP, to replace the Honorable Mukunji John Kitonga MP. 2, the Honorable Keter David Kipsang MP, to replace the Honorable Kitur Bernard Kibor MP. B, Committee on National Cohesion and Equal Opportunity, the Honorable Wamboka Jack Wanami CBS MP, to replace the Honorable Oyugi Dick Maungu MP. C, Committee on Member Services, the Honorable Mukunji John MP, to replace the Honorable Mwangi Teresia Wanjiru MP. Financial Audit and Money-Related Committees, D, Special Funds Accounts Committee, the Honorable Koi John Waluke CBS MP, to replace the Honorable Otucho Mary Emase MP. Committees, E, on Finance and National Planning, the Honorable Wamshomba Gadhoni MP, to replace the Honorable Maina Betty Njeri MP. Departmental Committee, that's F, on Housing, Urban Planning and Public Works, the Honorable Tonui Joseph Kipkosgei MP, to fill a vacancy in the committee. G, Departmental Committee on Regional Development, the Honorable Keter David Kipsang MP, to replace the Honorable Wamchomba Gadhoni HSC MP. H, Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure, the Honorable Maina Bettingere MP, to fill a vacancy in the committee. I, Departmental Committee on Communication, Information and Innovation, the Honorable Tubi Mohammed Tubi MP, to replace the Honorable Tonui Joseph Kipkosgei MP. J, Departmental Committee on Education, the Honorable Kombe Harrison Garama MP, to replace the Honorable Oyugi Dick Maungu MP. As members of that opinion say aye. Will those of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes. Next order.
Order number 7, questions.
Let's go back to request for statements. Nesmas Ngogoyo, MP, Kajiado North.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Speaker, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request for a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security regarding the murder of Reverend Julius Ndumia Ngare, Parish Minister of the PCA Tubaga Parish, Nakuru East Presbytery. Honorable Speaker, Reverend Julius Ndumia Ngare was reportedly murdered on the 4th of May 2026 within the PCA Tubaga Parish Church compound in Nakuru North Sub-County, Nakuru County. This heinous and senseless act shocked the nation, the Christian fraternity, and the people of Ongata Rongai, where the late Reverend had been a long-time resident and served as a minister. And served the community for over 25 years. Such acts of violence against religious leaders are deeply disturbing and unacceptable in a constituency founded on human dignity, equity, and the right to life. Article 26 of the Constitution guarantees every person the right to life. Article 32 protects the freedom of conscience, religion, belief, opinion, and opinion. The killing of a clergyman of duty not only violates these constitutional protections, but also creates fear and insecurity among religious leaders who continue to serve communities across the country. Many members and clergy now feel unsafe and vulnerable while carrying out their pastoral responsibility. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I seek a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security on the following. 1, the circumstances surrounding the murder of Reverend Julius Ndumia Ngare, and an update of the status of investigation into the matter. 2, the progress made in identifying, apprehending, and prosecuting the individuals responsible for the heinous act. 3, the measures put in place by the ministry to guarantee the safety, security of clergy and other religious leaders, particularly those serving in isolated and vulnerable areas. And 4, the support being accorded to the bereaved family, the church, congregation, and the wider community affected by the tragic incident. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Ngogoyo, in security. Rasok, how soon can you bring a response?
We'll respond in 2 weeks, Honorable.
2 weeks, so be it. Before I call Leah Sankaire, allow me to acknowledge honorable members, the following in the Speaker's Gallery: PCA School from Molo, Nakuru. When you are called out, if you are in the gallery, you stand up to be PCA Kambala School, Molo. Thank you. Apostolic Carmel School from Makadara, Nairobi. Thank you. In the public gallery, we have St. Teresa's Kutus Girls from Mwea, Kirinyaga. Jenongaiseri School from Kajiado, Central Kajiado. Ngeni Girls School from Baringo, Central Baringo. Pwani University from Kilifi, North Kilifi. On my behalf and on behalf of the House, we welcome the students, their teachers, and those accompanying them to the House of Parliament. Thank you. Next, Leah Sankaire. Leah Sankaire, question deferred. Next, Joyce Kamene, member for Machakos County.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I request for a statement regarding payment of salaries and dues to the former employees of East Africa Portland Cement Company. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 44-2C, I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee of Labor regarding the payment of salaries and dues to the former employees of East Africa Portland Cement Company. Honorable Speaker, East African Portland Cement Company Limited is a limited liability company whose core business is production of cement under the brand name of Blue Triangle. The company had entered into a collective bargaining agreement, CBA, dated 19th December 2014 for the period 2012 to 2015 with the unionizable employees through the Kenya Commercial and Allied Workers Union. However, the company failed to effect general wage increase to some unionizable employees as per the CBA, resulting a case between Kenya Commercial and Allied Workers Union versus East Africa Portland Cement Company Limited. Case number 2119 of 2014. Honorable Speaker, the court ruled that East Africa Portland Company was required to pay salary and allowance arrears to its contract employees. Having found that they were wrongfully excluded from the benefits of the CBA that covered permanent staff. Despite this judgment, the affected former employees have for several years been unable to secure reinforcement for a degree for payment for the outstanding arrears of Kenya shillings 1.3 billion. The affected employees are apprehensive that the recent takeover of the East Africa Portland Cement Company by Kalahari Cement following its 27% stake held by National Social Security Fund will potentially jeopardize their payment. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background a request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee of Labor on the following: a report on the measures put in place to ensure payments for former employees of East Africa Portland Company, considering that Kalahari Cement has taken formal control of the company. Steps being taken by the Ministry of Labor and Social Protection to ensure implementation of the court decree on payment of salaries and dues to former East Africa Portland Cement Company employees, and finally, the timelines within which the East Africa Portland Company will make the payments. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Joyce Kamene, Honorable. Chair Labour, is that the committee of Alice Nganga? Majority, communicate with the chair to bring a response in 2 weeks.
I will do so. Thank you,
Thank
Honorable
you.
Speaker.
Adewario MP North Hor.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to Standing Order 44.2c, I rise to request for a settlement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Energy regarding the delayed development of renewable energy infrastructure in Northern Constituency. Honorable Speaker, Northern Constituency remains among the least electrified regions in the country, despite the fact that access to reliable and affordable electricity supply is a key driver of socio-economic development. In an effort to improve electricity access in the area, the Minister of Energy and Petroleum, through the Rural Electrification and Renewable Energy, REREC, commenced installation of solar mini-grids in Dukana, Illeret, Balesa, and Hurry Hills. In addition, under Kenya Off-Grid Solar Access Project, COSAP, is implementing another phase of solar mini-grids projects in Bubisa, Forole, Elgade, and Gas to further expand electricity connectivity within the constituency. It is, however, regrettable that the mini-grids in Dukana, Illeret, and Balesa have remained non-operational for close to 2 years, resulting in prolonged darkness and severely disrupting essential services dependent on electricity in the region. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I seek statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Energy on the following. 1, a report on the rationale for continued investment in the solar mini-grids in Bubisa, Forole, Elgade, Gas, while the existing mini-grids in Dukana, Illeret, and Balesa remain non-operational. And when Dukana, Illeret, and Balesa will have reliable and uninterrupted power supply. Secondly, clarification on the reasons for the non-connectivity of Northor to the Lake Turkana wind power project, despite the proximity of the constituency to the project. Finally, the plans by the Minister of Energy and Petroleum to invest and tap wind and solar power potentials in Northern constituency and timelines for implementation. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Wario. Chair Energy. Mandazi, are you in the committee? Yes, when can you bring a response?
Honorable Speaker, we'll do the
2
response
weeks?
in 2 weeks.
Thank you. Caroline Ngelechei, member for Elgeyo Marakwet County.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I stand to request for a statement regarding the circumstances surrounding the death of Ms. Sheila Chepkorir Tanui in Australia. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 44.2c, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Committee of Defense, Intelligence and Foreign Relations regarding the circumstances surrounding the death of Ms. Sheila Chepkorir Tanui, a Kenyan citizen in Sydney, Australia. Honorable Speaker, Ms. Sheila Chepkorir Tanui, a 25-year-old Kenyan who hails from Elgeyo Marakwet County, died in Sydney, Australia under unclear circumstances. Her family claims that on the evening of Sunday, 17th May 2026, Australian law enforcement authorities notified them that Ms. Sheila Chepkorir had tragically passed away following an incident at her workplace, the Meriton Hotel. Initial reports alleged that Ms. Sheila fell from the 19th floor to 4th floor of the hotel building. Regrettably, the family faced significant delays and limited communication from the Australian authorities and her employer whenever they sought clarity on the circumstances of her death, raising suspicion of possible cover-up of the actual cause of Sheila's death. Honorable Speaker, the family fears were confirmed on 22nd May 2026 when its representatives observed that the condition of the body preserved at the Lahoud funeral services in Greenacre was wholly inconsistent with the report cause of death. Notably, the body had no visible injuries or fractures that normally observable on a victim of death by falling from a height of 19th to 4th floor as claimed. These concerns, together with the reported inconsistencies in official accounts, inadequate access to CCTV footage, witness statements, and absence of the transparent investigation process have left the family and the Kenyan community deeply distressed and without satisfactory answers. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Committee on Defense, Intelligence and Foreign Relations on the following one. A report on the investigations being conducted by the Australian law enforcement and forensic authorities into the death of Ms. Sheila Chepkorir Tanui, including the steps taken to secure all the available CCTV footages, witness statement and forensic evidence for use to establish the actual cause of her death. 2, the measure taken by the government of Kenya to engage Australian authorities a thorough and transparent investigation into the circumstances surrounding the death of Ms. Sheila Chepkorir and to guarantee the family full access to all relevant findings and evidence. And 3, the support and consular assistance being extended to the family by the Kenya High Commission in Australia, including measures to facilitate the dignified repatriation of Ms. Tanui's and provision of the appropriate support to the family. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Caroline Ngelechei. Chair, Defense, Intelligence and Foreign Relations. Any member? Timothy, can you bring a response?
Honorable Speaker, with your permission, if I can write on that statement.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
But are you a member of the committee as well?
No, Chair.
No, okay, go ahead.
Honorable Speaker, this is a sad incident. Honorable Speaker, Sheila Chepkorir left Kenya on April 4th, 2026. Barely 2 months thereafter, she was found dead in Australia, Sydney. Honorable Speaker, this is a young lady who was carrying the dreams and the aspirations of the family. Honorable Speaker, she hails from Marakwet East, and it is unfortunate, Honorable Speaker, that so far there has been no major truth on the death of Sheila. Honorable Speaker, I call upon the Committee of Defense and the Kenyan High Commission to do thorough investigations and appraise the family on the cause of the death. Honorable Speaker, as the government, including this House, Honorable Speaker, we have an obligation to protect the lives of our young people. And I have no doubt that the Committee on Defense will take this matter seriously and give a report, Honorable Speaker, preferably before 1 week, so that the family this matter to closure. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Chair, Defense and Foreign Relations. How soon can you bring a response? It's about a death of a young Kenyan lady in Australia.
2 weeks, Honorable Speaker.
2 weeks, okay.
Again, my apologies because we had the delegation from the House of Commons.
Yes.
So,
thank you. Thank you. Responses? Member for Pokot, Israel Kasiwai in the chamber? Yes. Raso, are you ready with this? The first one on responses, status and jurisdiction of Aro Sub-County Administrative Unit.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, this is a statement regarding boundary dispute between Turkana and West Pokot counties. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Rael Kasiwai has requested to be informed. 1, clarification on the official recognized boundary between Turkana and West Pokot. Measures being taken by the ministry to ensure seamless coordination in matters of security. Steps being taken to safeguard land rights, prevent boundary-related conflict. Honorable Speaker, Aro sub-county is administratively within Turkana County, having been carved out of Turkana South sub-county. It comprises Kainuk, Katilu, and Nakwamoru divisions, as well as Kainuk, Kaptutir, and Katilu locations, and 10 sub-locations. The Districts and Provinces Act of 1992, whose boundary provisions remain in force to date, clearly places Aro within Turkana County. This position was reaffirmed by the Andrew Legale Commission on the delimitation of boundaries, which maintain the same boundary demarcation. Measures being taken by the ministry. Honorable Speaker, the ministry has put in place the following measures. 1, deployment of multi-agency security teams, institutionalization of joint security forums, engagement of peace committees and community elders. 4, facilitation of cross-border peace dialogue. 5, operationalization of Aro sub-county as an administrative unit. 5, next is steps being taken to safeguard land rights. Honorable Speaker, the ministry has undertaken the following interventions: promotions of alternative dispute resolution mechanism, implementation of civic education programs. 5, strengthening community engagement and peace building initiative. 4, promotion of equitable land use and development to minimize disputes. 5, enhancement of surveillance, early warning, and rapid response mechanism to security issues. In conclusion, Honorable Speaker, the government remains committed to maintaining peace, security, and stability in Aro sub-county and along the Turkana-West Pokot boundary. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Signed by Honorable Kipchumba Murkomen, EGH, Cabinet Secretary for Interior and National Administration. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I beg to submit.
Thank you. Kasiwai, you've heard the answer or the response.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I want to appreciate the answer from the chair. However, there is need, Honorable Speaker, for the committee to visit the area to confirm whether the act has been implemented fully, because as it is, there is still a lot of uncertainty on the boundaries.
And Honorable Speaker, I want to propose also that the committee, or rather the Minister of Lands, to first, the communities can do their projects or develop their land.
Parliament for West Pokot, right?
Yes, Speaker.
The chair of the committee is saying this area is in Turkana. You heard him say that?
Yes, Speaker.
So why do you want
adjudication
in a neighboring county?
There is a constant conflict, Speaker.
Did you hear what he said?
Noted, Honorable Speaker, but you know,
he said the District and Provinces Act, which you ought to know.
Yes, I know. I understand the Act
yes,
of 1992. I understand.
Clearly places this area in Turkana. The Legal Commission of 2011 or 12 also affirmed the same. You are a member of the vast count of West Pokot, and you want adjudication to be done in Turkana. But it's up to you. Maybe you have extraterritorial jurisdiction. Yes, Oundo?
Honorable Speaker, this issue of boundary disputes, which actually I find it very interesting, yet we are one country called Kenya. We also have a boundary dispute. So-called, I don't know what's declared a boundary dispute, which we have not, in Busia County, with the Sirisia constituency in Busia, in the Bungoma. And the chair, I'm sure, is aware of this matter. And we people of Busia wants to make it extremely clear, with the due deference to our colleagues from Bungoma, that Changara division falls within Busia County. And the sooner we accept this fact and avoid cases of incitement between two communities that have lived together harmoniously, because they cross each over, they trade, they marry each other, they do all good and bad things together, and they have had no issues. I just want to urge leaders to avoid incitement. We are entering a very emotive time. Any form of incitement is unnecessary.
I thought you are joyriding on the issue of Aro in Turkana, West Pokot.
Cross. Okay. Honorable Speaker, something is brewing up. Yes. Cuts across throughout the country. And I've just highlighted this matter because some of the statements have been made by our colleagues in respect of the Changara issue is unfortunate, unacceptable. We must resolve this issue. And I think, Chair, you must pronounce yourself consistently on this issue, that boundaries were settled during when we were setting out the counties in this country, Legal Commission. Nobody ever raised any issue. Why would you so late in the day? Because it's political expedient, you want to look a hero amongst your people to get re-elected out following of laundering numbers, then you start drumming up. Drums of war. Less leaders. And today you have gone to church. National prayer meeting. And I thought guys prayed and they are now saved. And they are now talking very well. Sure, why do you then go to church? Why are you a Christian? If you can dream, there'll be drums of war. Thank you.
Raso?
Thank you very much.
Krema, you want to joyride on this? Yes, Krema.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for giving me this opportunity. The matter has been raised by the chairman there, and as it has been addressed by my colleagues, it has really touched almost all parts of Kenya, because like in my constituency, the whole location has been taken by my neighboring constituency. And this matter was settled way back in 1992 by the Act which created the counties. And at the same time, the Andrew Legal Commission pursued the matter of arbitration and it called all the parties. But their own data when we have come up, and we were not there at that time because it was cleared by our forefathers. When we have come back, ourselves, by coming up ourselves, we have tried to look like heroes by trying to grab other people's neighboring territorial areas so that they can look like we are fighting for our own people, yet it's not true. Speaker, this is the issue which I am suffering. Out of my colleagues here trying to make himself a hero of creating polling stations, schools, and other institutions in my place.
Colleague?
My colleague, Honorable, the chairman of the legal committee, Murugara,
You are out of order. Kirima, order.
Thank you, Chairman.
You want to discuss the conduct of Murugara? Bring a motion.
I will speak. I will speak. I will.
Bring a motion. Yes, Emase?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity to joyride on this issue of territorial disputes. Honorable Speaker, it's a very serious issue. It's not only between Pokot, West Pokot and Turkana, but you'll find Busia and Bungoma, and I want just to echo on what my colleague Honorable Undo has raised. If you come to Busia, now Bungoma Sirisha is claiming Changara to be part of Bungoma. And Honorable Speaker, the Minister of Lands is silent on this issue. There are records, historical records, the acts. These are gazetted areas that belong to specific counties. And therefore we cannot keep quiet and let this continue and escalate.
Just hold your horses. To be fair to the House, the area member of Parliament of Teso North, Honorable Oku Kaunya, filed a matter with the Speaker. I passed it on to the Interior Ministry, and they are seized of the matter. So probably you are anticipating debate. If you give it time, they will respond and it will be brought to the House. But you are at liberty to say what you are saying.
I stand guided, Honorable Speaker. I was just riding on and emphasizing on the importance of the urgency for us to address this issue because it's happening everywhere. Even within the same in certain counties, there are disputes between constituencies. Even if you come to my constituency, Honorable Speaker, Matayos is trying to claim part of Teso South, which is in Alupe. But you know, we are trying to solve it. So this disputes issue, the Ministry of Lands, Ministry of Interior should be able to come out and do something about it so that we prevent, communities beginning to, a lot of disputes between communities that have been living harmoniously for a long time, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Russell. Murugara, I have already ruled Kirima out of order, so you don't have to belabor the point. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I've always discussed with Honorable Kirima that the issue of boundary is actually determined by an act of parliament known as the Districts and Provinces Act 1992. So this issue he keeps raising about grabbing and not grabbing is really non-existent. If you want to know the boundaries of your county, it is exactly as set out in your district, which existed in 1992. So these are the things we have. I don't know where they're coming from, because that time we had locations and sublocations, and these were used to mark the boundaries between one district and another. 1992 simply was to actually supplant those districts into counties. So when he talks about we created polling stations, we created locations, I don't know where that comes from. Yes. And the Honorable Kirima, he's tried to incite people to go to court to try and get the court to determine the boundaries. And those cases have been dismissed. They've been said, you want to know a boundary, just look at this act of parliament, look at the administrative, because the administrators know where the boundaries are. And therefore, Kirima, I don't think there's any time you're going to change anything because we are all Kenyans. We are entitled to live where we would require. What you need are title deeds, whether they're in Meru, Tharaka Nithi, or wherever. But to say
Rael's question has been adequately answered. She really wanted to know where Aro is. And you know, Mr. Speaker, we must put the records straight. Most of these boundary issues are largely in the pastoralist areas because the pastoralists move around and sometimes they move with the boundary to the extent that they even displace others. But on the agrarian part of this country, Honorable Speaker, in the case of Bungoma, Busia, and many other parts, even Meru, Tharaka, these are people who are settled. And I believe it is time some of those boundaries are fully stated. But the statutes that are there, the Legale Commission and the District and Provinces Act of 1992 are the two existing statutes that remains to date. And if any of our colleagues or any member in this House believes something is not right, then they must bring a substantive motion to the House so that it can be escalated further to the Ministry. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Russell. Martin Pepela is in the House. Yes. Chair, Transport. Sorry. Mark Mwenje, did I skip your... I'll come back to you. Okay. Go ahead. Mark Mwenje, sorry. You are in the House. Murugara, are you ready with a response?
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I hope also Honorable Afe Wario. Yes, he's here. And I wish that Honorable Gikaria was here. He raised a matter very urgently through a question, but IEBC has actually answered together with these other two.
So you start with Ade Wario.
So it's a combined statement, but it answers every one of them.
For the two?
Yes, the first two, and the ends, in fact, it started with Gikaria's question, which really is short, that I'm going to read to him, I give him the statement, then the other two, I will answer as they've done. Allow me kindly to do an abridged version, abbreviated version of it. It's a bit long, but it carries everything they want to hear. This is a statement in response to the request by Honorable Mark Mwenje, MP West, Embakasi West constituency regarding alleged illegal voter transfer between counties, that is Nairobi and Garissa. There is also a request for statement by the Honorable Afe Wario, MP North Hall constituency regarding implementation of the enhanced continuous voter registration in North Hall constituency. And the question is by Honorable Gikaria, MP Nakuru Town East constituency, to the IEBC on why young Nakuru residents with the Maisha cards, that is the new generation identity cards, are unable to register as voters. Honorable Speaker, the statement proceeds as follows. The Commission expresses its appreciation to the National Assembly as key stakeholder in the electoral process. Further, the Commission values the cordial and constructive engagement it has consistently enjoyed with the legislature in the discharge of constitutional mandate. With regard to the issues raised by the honorable members, the Commission wishes to describe the process of voter registration and transfer as follows. Number one, eligibility and application for registration as a voter. We've set out what is required, the 4 elements of Kenya citizenship: attained the age of 18 years, is of sound mind, and has not been convicted of an election offense within the last 5 years or preceding 5 years. Then the eligibility for applicants, you have to produce your national identity card or a valid voter passport, a valid Kenyan passport. Then we have the voter registration process. They have set out how they do it through verification of identity and eligibility, number 1. Number 2, completion of application for registration form is the Form A. Number 3 is biometric data capture. Number 4 is selection of registration or polling center. Number 5 is review and confirmation of information. Number 6 is issuance of acknowledgement receipt. Slip, which looks like the voter's card we used to carry many years ago. Number 7 is updating of voter records once this is done. And the last paragraph is location for voter registration, where they are supposed to do so in the 290 IBC constituency offices and designated Huduma centers and the 1,450 county assembly wards with institutions of higher learning. This is where we do periodic enhanced outreach programs. Now for transfer, again, there has been detailed on how one does it through transfer of registration in accordance with Section 7 of the Act and correction or updating of personal detail where this has had a problem. Then verification of registration status, they have set out how this is done by the poll clerks who actually check that this has been done properly. And now they go to the issues raised by the questions, starting with Honorable Gekaria, where he says Maisha cards are not being accepted in Nakuru Town East constituency, and their response is that this is not true. The commission recognizes the Maisha card as an identification document and confirms that the voter registration system fully supports it. Claims that Maisha card holders born from 2004 onwards cannot register are therefore unsubstantiated. And Honorable Gekaria will have to provide details as regards who has a Maisha card and has been refused registration. Now, issues by Honorable Mark Mwenje. The issues were the veracity of the allegation regarding the transfer of voters from Nairobi City County to Garissa County and the extent of the affected voters. Number 2, the measures being taken by the government to verify and rectify any anomalies in the voter register. Number 3, the safeguards in place to prevent irregular transfer of voters across counties and polling stations. And number 4, the timelines within which any anomaly is expected to be resolved to restore public confidence in the electoral process. IBC response as follows. Number 1, allegations of illegal transfer of voters. The allegations of illegal voter transfer from Nairobi to Garissa are untenable, as voter transfers require physical presence and successful biometric verification. Therefore, Honorable Mwenje would have to provide details regarding any alleged transfers and where, if so, those transfers are in breach of any law, especially our electoral laws. Then, once these measures are designed to detect, deter, and address irregularities while strengthening public confidence in the electoral process. So, they have set out the various methods that where this is done, and they confirm that there has been nothing illegal. If anyone has actually moved from Nairobi to Garissa, the physical presence of that person confirms that that is his wish, and we cannot obstruct it, especially where people want to move from one constituency to another constituency. Now, issues raised by Honorable Arthur Wario, MP, In respect to the statement by Honorable Ave Wario, MP for North Hall constituency regarding the implementation of the enhanced continuous voter registration exercise in North Hall constituency, specifically set out in the statement, the Commission responds as follows. Regarding issue number 1, the Commission is currently processing the ECVR data to retain only unique records and eliminate any potential duplicates before final certification. Consequently, the figures on newly registered voters, including transfers and changes of particulars for North Hall, are still being processed. However, the figures available as we speak today are that 7,988 new enrollments took place against a target of 4,204 new enrollments. So they actually registered more than the target they had. Now, limiting access to voter transfer and related in the constituency, the Commission extended the services for new voter registration services by engaging clerks and mobilizing at level, ensuring coverage. So the area was particularly well covered. The services for voter transfer and updates are carried out by the registration officers to enable verification of previous registrations and biometrics during application for transfer or change of. So the committee is exploring ways of facilitating registration officers with the necessary logistical support, enhance the provision of voter transfer and update of particular services at the ward level for purposes of North Hall, which is one of the largest constituencies in the country. Such infrastructure includes stable internet connectivity, reliable power supply, and other logistical support necessary. The Commission proposes to operationalize periodic outreach services whereby registration officers may visit ward offices and other decentralized locations to conduct voter transfers and related services based on demand and operational feasibility. And as we conclude, for voter transfer and update of particulars, the Commission endeavors to facilitate the registration offices with necessary logistical support and resources to cover the vast areas of North Hall and carry out the above services. In conclusion, the Commission remains steadfast commitment to upholding integrity, accuracy, and credibility of the register of voters at all times, so as also to ensure and assure Kenyans of the integrity, accuracy, and credibility of the electoral process when this comes into being. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Here. Very much, Honorable Speaker.
Very much, Chair Legal. Now, before I bring Honorable Mwenje, who is very ready to deal with this matter, I'll be bringing you. But before then, let's acknowledge of the following schools in the Speaker's Gallery: Kapsabet Girls School from Mgwen constituency, Nandi. And then also we have school from Cape Kelion, Kericho. Now I can see the member is here. 1 minute just to appreciate the students.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Are you Millie?
1 minute.
Okay, let's listen to the for Nandi.
Thank you, Honorable Millie, for allowing me. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. First, the students who are here, and particularly the students from constituency. And I want to, I know a rare chance for you to be in this honorable house, but I want to encourage you that Kapsabet Girls Honorable Speaker is one of my it's a leading school in Mgwen constituency, of which last year we had close to 99% transition to the university.
Great.
And I'm proud of them because they're very disciplined and hardworking. I want to encourage all the students who are here so that you work hard, your future is bright, and one day you might be in this honorable house as leaders of the future. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Very well. Honorable Chirorot.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to join my colleague, Len Mengich, in welcoming both Londiani girls and Kapsabet girls to this house, August House, where laws are made and passed, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Londiani Girls is one of the leading schools in my constituency, and I want to say that we have a lot of alumni who have gone through the same school, and they are doing very well, Mr. Speaker. I want to say that, as Mandela said, that education is the most powerful weapon which we can use to change the world. I want to encourage our students that they should work hard to make sure that they prepare for future. This morning in our prayer breakfast, Mr. Speaker, we had this girl from Kenya High who really spoke, and she really challenged the president that we should be able also to visit girls' schools, because I think, according to her, the president has been visiting boys' school. And I want to encourage our president also to make sure that all our girls in high school are also visited. Another thing, Mr. Speaker, I want to say pole for our girls in Gilgil who lost their lives this early morning. And I want to condole with the families that may God be with you and encourage and comfort you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Great. You need to be much briefer than that because these are just comments. So let's give Honorable Millie very briefly.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. And I would want to take the opportunity as well to welcome Kapsabet Girls in the National Assembly, and to my sisters or sister cousins was a teacher there. Unfortunately, she has since passed on. And also Londiani girls, welcome to the house. I pass Londiani a lot of times on my way to Suba North. And Mr. Speaker, I want to tell the member who is worried that a girl from Kenya High was complaining to the president today that the president is only visiting the boys' schools. Worry not. I am going to visit all the girls' schools because I am the president 2032. So the girls here, these are my voters in 2032. It's just year, otherwise they would all be, the president, the first woman president is here. Amilo Geza, the bad girl. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and welcome.
Great. I think that's done. No, we have had enough of that. Let's go to business, members. So let's get the first bite from Honorable Mwenje.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I've had a chance to listen to the response to my questions, and for questions 2, 3, and 4 that have been provided by IBC, in my opinion, are satisfactory questions. Honorable Speaker, just before I raise the main issue, I want to express that I do have a lot of confidence in the new IBC. I have confidence in that chairman. I have confidence in one, especially Commissioner Ande Ritu, and even my returning officer in the constituency. I believe they're doing a good job. Having said that, the response that I've gotten on the first issue, to use kind words, Honorable Speaker, is to say that this is an insulting response. It makes it look as though I imagined what I raised. And Honorable Speaker, I had actually requested the committee to invite me, and they gave me a date of 26th of this month, 2 days ago, that they would invite me when IBC were in the committee so I could raise these issues of illegal transfers. Now they're saying it cannot happen, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, if the chair had paid attention, We had a member who was elected the other day in Embu County, which is, I believe, is neighboring county. And I'm glad that he's won his petition. But the whole issue around that petition that forced a recount of votes was because there were some registrations that went on at the time when the IBC register was closed. So these issues are happening. Now, there was an expose done by NTV. Speaker Moturi gave some evidence, and I did, and I restricted my comments, Honorable Speaker, with respect to this House, because I didn't want to raise this issue. Now, Honorable Speaker, let me give these names. These are people from Embakasi West. Christopher Moteru lives in Molem. He's a registered voter now in Garissa, in Ijara. When I spoke to the member of parliament from Ijara, he told me this polling center, Bula AP dispensary, is at the farthest corner in his constituency. Number 2, Moiro Mungai, Garissa, Mbalambala, Danyere. When I spoke to the honorable member, he told me this is a very far-flung polling center. Number 3, Abraham Kehia, Garissa, Ijara, Bula AP dispensary. Mind you, these are people I know and live in my constituency. Yeah? Another one, Ken Mueni, moved to Garissa, Ijara Livestock Market.
How long is the list?
Honorable, it's a long list. I've stopped.
Proceed.
Did I imagine these names for them to tell me that it is impossible? And I don't want to raise this politics. Why are these people from one community only being moved to these areas? This is the issue that I have. If you are moving these names to Moranga, Kiambu, I'll assume maybe they are voting in their ancestral homes. These are not the ancestral homes in Garissa and Wajir. There. So, Chair, with due respect, let IEBC not, as though we are not in court. I want to give them this information because, in my opinion, there is a third party involved and using resources to confuse these young men who will not get a chance to vote. I have to transfer these individuals back, and I've refused, Honorable Speaker, to transfer them back so that I can give them to IEBC. They can interrogate them, and they will tell them what they have told me. There is somebody somewhere. It is not the commissioners I'm accusing. It is not my returning officer, but it is somebody meddling. And mind you, Chair, this issue cuts is in Embakasi North, it's in Embakasi Central. Even Honorable Mbui, I hope he was listening to me, he'll tell you it is there. So, please, Chairman,
very well.
Just call me to a meeting where you are meeting with the IEBC, and I will give them these people. I will give them these contacts. Let them investigate and find out so that we sort out this issue. Otherwise, we're just laying ground for election petitions that will be endless after the elections in 2027. Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
I can see some interest. Let me just take 2, Oundo. Briefly, the first speaker had the leverage.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And I want Sir George to listen carefully and convey this message to IBC. Honorable Speaker, the integrity of an election is not determined on the day of counting. And Honorable Speaker, allow me to paint a very clear and a very well-orchestrated scheme being played on the border points. And I say so in relation to what Honorable Mwenje has raised. Honorable Speaker, there is currently something called rapid initiative, something like that, to register people as residents of Kenya, to issue them ID cards. And that, Honorable Speaker, is specifically happening in Teso North and Funyula. What is happening, Honorable Speaker? Somebody somewhere is transporting non-citizens, non-Kenyans, to come and get ID cards. The moment they are given the waiting cards, they're immediately registered as voters. In blatant disregard on the procedures. Honorable Speaker, the Constitution of Kenya, Article 15.1 and Article 15.2 says for any non-Kenyan to be registered to be Kenyan by registration,
first of all, must have been married for 7 continuous years. Number 2, must have been lived in Kenya for 10 continuous years. Honorable Speaker, in Funyula constituency and Teso North, we are witnessing a very ugly spectacle. People are coming in lorries. People are coming in matatus. And Honorable Speaker, those guys cannot either speak Swahili, cannot speak English, cannot speak local dialect. You wonder when did they live in Kenya for 7 years? How do they transact business if they've lived in Kenya for 7 years, yet they cannot read and write in English, Swahili, or local dialect? How do they become residents of Kenya? How have they lived for Kenya? For 10 years. Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the expedient politically, but the danger we're exposing this country to is going to haunt us for years after the people who are orchestrating the same have long left office. It's a situation, and I hope it cuts across both electoral integrity and the national security of this country. Speaker, with the fullness of time, I'll bring a substantial question to be answered.
Very well.
And I hope nobody will kill it in the bureaucracy as well as the practice. Thank you, Honorable.
Just bring a question, cannot be killed. The undertaken. I can see, Honorable, is that Wandeto? Yeah, very briefly, and then we go back to Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. The issue of integrity, Mr. Speaker, is very, very important. And you know, this country has even gone into very difficult times because of the questions of electoral integrity. I think the ODM party, which Honorable Millie is a member of, I think are still waiting for it to be opened last election. So electoral justice is a big thing. And Mr. Speaker, when we hear about voters being transferred against their wish, all finding themselves wish to be registered, it is an issue that requires a thorough investigation. And we do not want these sort of casual responses coming from the committees. What we would like is a thorough investigation, including those voters being called to appear in the committee and show the evidence that they are alluding to. And the 2027 election, Mr. Speaker, will be a very, very consequential election in this country. And already, some of the utterances even being made by leaders or some members of this House, who some have said that even if their candidate of choice doesn't win, they will steal for him the vote. Maybe we are wondering whether these things are of moving, especially members of a certain community, from where they voted. It could be part of the voter suppression, which is being organized. And there has been many people who have come out clearly and saying, they will steal this election. So these are very serious early warning signs. And I hope that the relevant committees can take this matter very, very seriously and not give casual responses in this House, because indeed this could be a plot to steal the 2027 general election, and there are many, many signs that are coming out that indeed all is not well. Thank you.
Chair. Order. The two members.
Thank you.
Some of them are senior
Thank
members.
you very much. Honorable Speaker, I start with Honorable Wandeto. If you ask a question that appears casual on the face of it, you will get a casual answer. This is the reason why lawyers would always give you what is known as particularization of a question, or giving full and sufficient particulars so that you are able to receive a sufficient answer. Allegations that are made in funerals, in Harambes and what have you, those are just allegations. They have no particulars. They do not have anything else. And that takes me to the joyriding by Honorable Oundo. Here we are dealing with the voter registration, not registration of persons to receive IDs. And again, the way you're stating it is equally casual. You're saying there are people coming there in lorries, they can either speak Swahili or Luya language or whatever, and it borders on criminality. So these are criminal elements who are doing criminal things, and you've not made a report. So you need to go to the authorities
make a report so that these are investigated. And you provide the particulars. You cannot just go there and say, last night I was told some lorry was seen somewhere ferrying people. Nobody will take you seriously. Let me go to Honorable Mwenje. Honorable Mwenje, you've read out names. Which names should have actually been in your statement? That's the reason you're complaining that there has been no investigation. Had you given those names in your request, you would now be having answers as to what your constituents who belong to a certain ethnic community did to find themselves in wherever they found themselves, if that is true. So, the way to cure it is you may do a letter to Justice and Legal Affairs with those names, IDs, and other particulars. Then we'll invite IBC to appear before us, and you may be surprised. Through the process I have read here, those constituents of yours actually appeared before a registration officer, expressed intention to go to Mbalambala or wherever they want to go, and the due process was followed and they were moved. How that happened, you say somebody somewhere is inducing them. Again, let us have particulars of that particular somebody somewhere who is inducing them, who is committing an offense, and you are not complaining about him because you are not allowed to do so. However, if the inducement is done elsewhere, we don't know where, and one fine morning, a young man by the names you have given, Mwangi or Kamau or whomsoever, appears before a registration officer voluntarily, out of his own will, volenti, and he says, I want to be moved to Balambala. The reasons he states, whatever reasons, he is now shifting base from your constituency to Garissa or to wherever. And the registration officer is convinced that that application has merit. Believe you me, IBC will act on it. So let's get full particulars. I assure you, we will have IBC coming over and they will give a response. Thank you very much, because at least you have confidence in some of the commissioners. In fact, it's not just Anderito. All of them are determined to deliver to this country a free, fair, credible, justifiable election. Those allegations of rigging, those are wishful thinking of whoever is thinking that way. We want an election that is going to be believable by everybody, because an election is done at a polling station. And that is going to be what we will take forward. So, but this House must also fund IBC. I have made that plea before, that if IBC is not properly funded, then you will hear cries and whinging because it may not be able to do its work timelessly. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chair. I think your strength in that area has been the specifics, because this is a house of rules and order. And relax, Honourable Member. And the two Honourable Members, you can actually bring substantive questions and they are dealt with specifics. But I think Mwenje did very well in terms of the names. And I want to guide that when you invite IBC, it's not bad to invite Mwenje because he's a member of Parliament and he can execute all these things right there. And by the time you come back here, it's very, very well done. What is it, Honourable Member? Because I've closed that matter.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mine was just but a request.
Yes.
Instead of Mwenje going to the committee, the chair invites the IBC in this house, and because the question is cutting across all the constituencies.
Check out on the people who need to come to the house. We have our order, standing orders, which guide us on who can be called here. Let's move to the next business. Is Honourable Martin Pepela in the house? If so, do we have the Chair, Transport and Infrastructure? Yes, I can see Chair, Transport and Infrastructure there. You have a matter to execute. Honourable members, allow the Chairman, Transport and Infrastructure to execute this matter. Give him the microphone. There's a microphone on your left. Now you have both. Thank you.
Honourable Chair, Honourable Speaker, give me the details, please.
the member. I can't even see the member. Yeah. Oh, he's here. Okay. Martin. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, on 12th March 2026, the member for Webuye East, Honorable Wanyonyi Martin Pepela MP, requested for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure regarding a tragic road accident along the Wembuye-Kitare Road. Honorable Speaker, in the statement, the honorable members sought to establish, among other things, and I think I will just go straight to the responses because regarding the report on any safety audit conducted on the road at Maraba Junction along the Webuye-Kitare Road, and if so, whether the road area has been officially designated as an accident black spot. Following the accident, the authority reviewed the available crash data for the Maraba Junction along Webuye-Kitare Road, while also taking into consideration the alignment of the road at that particular section that includes the climbing lane. The review indicated that the section does not qualify as an accident black spot. Regarding the measures being undertaken by KENHA to enhance safety at the junction, including the installation of properly designed and clearly marked speed bumps and equip proper road signage, clear road markings, reflective stands, and any other appropriate road safety interventions and timelines for the completion of the installation of these road safety measures. The Ministry of Transport and Roads stated that the previously installed road signs at the section have been vandalized severally, despite sensitization of efforts by the agency to deter the vice. KENHA has initiated additional urgent road safety measures at the Maraba Junction through the PBC contract, including one, installation of additional warning and informatory signs at the critical points at the junction, and two, remarking of the road with the thermoplastic paint to improve visibility, and three, installation of properly designed rambo strips using thermoplastic paints to alert drivers. Three, Honorable Speaker, regarding the long-term plans by the Ministry of Roads and Transport, if any, to upgrade the Webuye-Kitare Road and to do carriage way to avert frequent accidents, specifying projected timelines. The ministry submitted that there are currently no immediate plans to upgrade the entire section to a dual carriageway, as the existing traffic volume does not call for dualing. In addition, prevailing budget constraints would not allow construction of a dual carriageway in the near future. Four, Honorable Speaker, regarding plans by the ministry to compensate the victims and measures in place to support victims of the accident at Maraba Junction, the ministry submitted that it take those of the affected victims. However, plans for compensation of victims of accident on its network can happen following a thorough police investigation, establishing on who takes the liability. Furthermore, as the ministry implements its mandate of providing safe and adequate national trunk roads to all others, it is also engaging the National Transport and Safety Authority and the National Police Service to enhance enforcement of traffic rules along the corridor to accident occurrences. Honorable Speaker, I submit. Thank you.
Very well. Chair, I think you should proceed. Is the Honorable Ahmed Hussein in the House? Hassan. Then if he's not there, I would have asked you to proceed and do the two of them because they're concerned. But now let me bring for...
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, first I want really to thank my friend Chair for this response, but also raise a couple of issues, Chair, especially Chair on issue 1. Chair, we've lost so many people on this road, and in particular at this particular spot. And Chair, I think for me where I sit, in terms of categorizing a place as an accident spot depends so much on the frequency of accidents that happen. And Mr. Speaker, this place, even when we lost people, we still continue losing people at this particular place. So Honorable Speaker, I don't really understand the parameter to say that this particular place cannot fall within a black spot. That's why I want to challenge the Chair to really revisit their position and really categorize this place as a black spot because we are continuing to lose many people. Chair, on issue 2, in terms of the steps that I want really to appreciate because we can see remarking of the road and they have also installed warning signs. But we had requested for a comprehensive plan and measures to be able to ensure that they install the warning signs, they install speed bumps, which really has not been done. So I think really I want to challenge Chair that they also need to move and ensure that beyond what has happened, they are also coming up with a comprehensive plan to ensure that they put in place measures that will really reduce the number of accidents at this particular place. On issue 3, Chair, as far as dwelling of this road, I expected really, Chair, that the ministry will tell us if they don't really want, or rather if they are not ready to do all this particular section or this particular road, they should also even just be planning to widen this road. Because one of the challenges is that the road is not that wide enough, and that's why we are having this access. So I think for the ministry to say that the reason why they will not do all this road is because of the budget constraints, I think really they're also not being fair. Because it is this House that recently passed the National Infrastructure Fund, and that fund can as well also be used to be able to widen this particular road. Finally, Chair, I appreciate the ministry condoling with the families that lost their loved ones. But I think really, Chair, that is not enough. I expected the ministry to tell us that beyond condoling with the families, they have taken steps to liaise with the Minister of Interior to ensure that they conduct...
Order, Honourable Member, you are digressing. We dealt with this matter when the substantive speaker was here. And you also have a chance of even bringing a special motion next week, specifically to deal with that matter. I'll be supporting you, I'm a teacher. So please confide yourself to the business.
Yeah, Honourable Chair, Honourable Speaker, government is a government of collective responsibility, and a matter happening in one ministry does not tire that ministry from also liaising with the other ministry to be able to have a comprehensive response and action, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, to summarize, I really expect that the two ministries will work closely for us to have a thorough investigation, and finally these families are compensated for the loss that befall them, Chair. Thank you so much, Chair.
Chair, Transport.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. I have listened to my colleague, and we work together to ensure that the issues he has raised are addressed. Thank you.
Very well. Is Is the leader in the House for his statement, Thursday statement? Okay, maybe when he comes in, we shall still give him a chance to give the Thursday statement. And here he walks in, I think he is more than ready. So let's get the Thursday statement by leader.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. My apologies, I was running down from the office.
Order, leader. Just 1 minute as you settle down. The chair transport, you will, because I can see the member for Banisa is not in the house, so you can bring that statement, the answers that you had to the table. And now we can invite the leader to proceed with Thursday statement.
Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 44.2a, I rise to present the following statement on behalf of the House Business Committee, which met on Tuesday, 26th May 2026 to prioritize business for consideration during the week and the business coming before the House in the following week. Honorable Speaker, allow me first to officially welcome members back from the short recess and further wish to appreciate the leadership of the House and all members for the dedication and cooperation exhibited so far, and look forward to the same dedication in this session after the recess and a very busy session with the budget making process well on course. And as I thank members who took time during the working recess to consider the budget estimates that were tabled before the House on the last Thursday before that recess. Honorable Speaker, with regard to business scheduled for Tuesday next week, the House is expected to continue with the consideration of the following. A, Committee of the Whole House on the following bills. 1, the Fisheries Management and Development Bill, National Assembly Bill number 29 of 2023. And I see Honorable Millie Odhiambo nodding because she knows she has amendments, so it will come up next week. 2 is the Quality Health Care and Patient Safety Bill, National Assembly Bill number 41 of 2025. B is the second reading of the following bills, if not concluded this afternoon or this evening. 1 is a Public Finance Management Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 17 of 2025. 2, the Plant Protection Bill, National Assembly Bill number 28 of 2025. 3, the Competition Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 4 of 2026. And 4, the Kenya Judiciary Academy Bill, National Assembly Bill number 42 of 2025. C is a special motion on consideration of nominee for appointment as High Commissioner to Canada, if not concluded this afternoon, Thursday, May 28, 2026. D is motions on the consideration of the budget estimates for the financial year 2026-2027, general debate, first allotted day, subject to tabling of the report and giving of notice of motion. E is motions on the following, if not concluded again today, Thursday, May 28, 2026. 1 is a report on inspection visit to the East African Science and Technology Commission and the East African Health Research Commission. 2, report of the Kenya delegation to the 151st Assembly of the Interparliamentary Union, IPU, and related meetings. 3 is a second report on the status of reports on petitions and resolutions. And 4 is a report on inspection visits to 14 special needs schools in specified counties. In conclusion, Honorable Speaker, the House Business Committee shall reconvene again on Tuesday, 2nd June 2026 to schedule business for the rest of that week. I now wish to lay this statement on the table of the House as I wish you all a good weekend and a happy Madaraka Day. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Very well. Next order.
Order number 10, the Microfinance Bill, National Assembly Bill number 9 of 2026, first reading. A bill for an act of parliament to amend the law regulating microfinance business in Kenya and for connected purposes. Order number 11, the Kenya Revenue Authority Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 28 of 2026, first reading. A bill for an act of parliament to amend the Kenya Revenue Authority Act and for connected purposes.
Next order.
Order number 12, special motion, consideration of a nominee for appointment as High Commissioner to Canada.
A chairperson, Departmental Committee on Defense, Intelligence and Foreign Relations.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Before I can go to the motion, Honorable Speaker, allow me also to welcome all the students that have visited us that are seated in the gallery. In the gallery as well are my two sons, Barchok Koech and Kipkalia Koech. The two decided to come here, and their friend, Negus, they decided to come here today to see what we transact in the floor of this house. Just to say, Honorable Speaker, for the knowledge of the House, is that their grandfather, the late Kipkalia Kones, was a four-term member of Parliament. He was also in this House. Their grandmother, Honorable Beatrice Kones, was a member of this House who served for 2 terms. Their father, Nelson Koech, yours truly here, who has also served for 2 terms. And their mother is running for the Bomet senatorial seat. So, I truly have, even though none of them is showing any interest of politics at the moment, I thought it will be a good thing for them to come here today and see what we transact in this house. And all those that are in the gallery today, the students who are here, we wish you all the best. We wish you all the best in your studies. I know in the near future, some of you will be standing here moving the business of the day and moving this country forward. Honorable Speaker, I go to the business. I beg to move that, taking into consideration the findings of the Departmental Committee on the Defense, Intelligence and Foreign Relations in this report on the approval hearing of Mr. Humphrey Mulongo Watanga, EBS, for appointment as High Commissioner of the Republic of Kenya to Ottawa, Canada, laid on the table of the House and pursuant to Article 132 of the Constitution, Section 3 and 8 of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act, Cap 7F, and Section 22 of the Foreign Service Act, Cap 185E. This House approves the appointment of Mr. Humphrey Mulongo Watanga as a High Commissioner of the Republic of Kenya in Ottawa, Canada. In the exercise of its mandate, under Standing Order 216, the committee conducted the approval hearing of the nominee on Thursday, May 2026, and subjected him to a rigorous vetting process, including public participation and integrity verification by all relevant statutory bodies. The nominee was found compliant with the constitutional and statutory requirements, including Chapter 6 of leadership and on leadership and integrity. Honorable Speaker, the committee examined the nominee's academic background. I must say he's a very experienced and a professional with a lot of experience and performance. During that approval hearing, we examined. The nominee possesses exceptional academic credentials, having studied it at the Harvard University and at the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania. Mr. Watanga is he's an accomplished academician, Honorable Speaker, I must mention. In fact, he had been picked to University of Nairobi to study veterinary, but he got a scholarship to the prestigious Harvard University, where he studied. He also demonstrated extensive leadership and institutional management experience through his service as Commissioner General in Kenya Revenue, Vice Chairperson of the Commission on Revenue Allocation before that, and in various investment advisory and corporate finance roles that he has done, both locally and internationally. Honorable Speaker, the committee further noted that the nominee demonstrated substantial understanding of public finance management, revenue administration, economic diplomacy, investment promotion, and international partnerships. During the approval hearing, he articulated vision of leveraging Kenya's strategic geographical position and the African continental free trade framework to position Kenya as a gateway for Canadian investment into East Africa and wider African market. Points to note, however, Honorable Speaker, which of course the committee, after they invited him to appear, we were convinced. The nominee had requested the rescheduling of the approval hearing. And on this, Honorable Speaker, I want to mention, particularly to the nominees and all nominees that appear before Parliament, that they should not take for granted an invitation to appear before a committee of this House. Sometimes they want to push the date of appearance, and it is expensive. Honorable Speaker, having the nominees, first of all, one of the communication is in the newspapers, and it costs about $500,000 to have such a communication in the newspaper. So it costs a lot of money to the taxpayer, and nominees should take an invitation from this House for vetting very, very seriously. Honorable Speaker, he did request for a rescheduling of his appearance, while the committee acknowledged the importance of continuity with public institutions because he had requested that he was handing over his duties in Kerry. Members expressed concern regarding the unprecedented nature of the request by a presidential nominee. The explanation advanced by the nominee was considered unsatisfactory by the committee, particularly given the strategic importance and urgency ordinarily associated with presidential diplomatic appointments. And Honorable Speaker, probably this should, even as we discuss, I'm sure it is going to come into the debate, it is important that we pursue. Honorable Bongusha, CNN, is bringing into this House a motion. It's come before my committee. And looking on how we will be, those that are going to be picked to the diplomatic appointments should be considered. And it's going to be on a ratio of 70-30. That is what his proposal is saying. And I think it is important because it is not fair sometimes when a nominee is given an opportunity by the head of state. And you find that there are diplomats who have been waiting for such a position. They will take the next minute to come for vetting. Yet you have someone who's been given an opportunity asking Parliament to reschedule his appearance before the committee. Nonetheless, we were convinced by his excuse, even though with so many question marks. And although the nominee demonstrated an understanding of bilateral economic relations and international engagement, the committee observed that to effectively discharge the responsibilities of High Commissioner, the nominee will require structured orientation and capacity building in diplomatic practice, which is normally done anyway, on foreign policy implementation and protocol affairs. Nonetheless, the committee also observed that the nominee exhibited composure, confidence, and strong analytical capacity during the approval hearing. His exposure to international finance, multilateral engagement, investment negotiations, and cross-border partnerships provides a useful foundation upon which diplomatic competencies may be strengthened. In conclusion, Honorable Speaker, the committee identified no constitutional or statutory impediment to the appointment of the nominee. The nominee satisfied the requirements relating to citizenship, integrity, professionalism, competence, and suitability for state officers contemplated under the Constitution and Foreign Service Act. Accordingly, Honorable Speaker, the committee recommended that this House approves the appointment of Mr. Humphrey Mulongo Watanga, EBS, as the High Commissioner of the Republic of Kenya to Ottawa, Canada. Honorable Speaker, I want to beg the gracious lady, the formidable Deputy Leader of Minority, Honorable Millie Mabona, to second this motion. Thank you.
Thank you.
Deputy Whip, sorry, but she's running for president in 2032, so yes. I'm just preparing her psychologically.
Yes, thank you, and thanks for noting that. But currently, I'm the Minority Chief Whip. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Before I second, let me take this opportunity to welcome Moi Girls. I think they're the ones who was called Highlands in the past. And it's a school that has produced great women in this country, including Mama Ida Odinga, a great friend of mine. And this is how we do business in the House. And when you see women in this House, I want you to know that now that you see very many of us here, it's not always been like that. When I joined Parliament 17 years ago, we were only 17 women. So We hope that by the time you get here, you'll be more than 100 women. Mr. Speaker, I also want to welcome the family of Honorable Koech, and you are doing a good thing because it's good for our families to be acquainted with the kind of work that we do. And I want to say that I served with the late Honorable Kipkalia Kones, I served with Beatrice Kones, and now I serve with Honorable Koech, who is my chairman in the Defense Committee. And I want to tell Honorable Koech you will be a clog in the campaign of President, because now you are dynasty when you are not supposed to be dynasty. With now with your wife also running, you qualify to be dynasty. Having said that, Mr. Speaker, I ask to second the motion on the approval of Mr. Humphrey Mulongo Watanga, EBS, for appointment as High Commissioner of the Republic of Kenya for Canada. Mr. Speaker, the committee undertook the approval hearing of the nominee on Thursday, 14th May 2026, in a constitution, the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act, the Foreign Service Act, and the standing orders of this House. The committee confirmed that the nominee satisfied the constitutional and statutory requirements for appointment to state office, having been duly cleared by all relevant statutory bodies in the country. Mr. Speaker, the committee further notes that the nominee possesses exceptional academic and professional credentials, having studied at the famous Harvard University, and I wish the minority leader, Honorable Inchungwa, was listening, who likes bragging about alliance. Now we have somebody here with Harvard University, and including Honorable Karoli, but who also went to Harvard, but I also went to New York University, so don't boast for me. Mr. Speaker, he also went to the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania. He has also demonstrated extensive experience in public finance management, institutional leadership, advisory, and revenue administration through his service at the Commission on Revenue Allocation, and more recently as the Commissioner General of the Kenya Revenue Authority. Mr. Speaker, additionally, the nominee demonstrated strong analytical ability, composure, and understanding of economic diplomacy during the approval hearing. Mr. Speaker, his experience in international finance, cross-border investment, engagement, and strategic negotiations provides a useful foundation for advancing Kenya's bilateral relations with Canada, particularly in trade, investment, innovation, education, and technology cooperation. Mr. Speaker, notwithstanding the strengths that I've mentioned about him, the committee observed notable concerns, particularly regarding the nominee's request for rescheduling of the approval hearing on account of an ongoing handover process at the Kenya Revenue Authority. Mr. Speaker, I know this may sound like a lot of people, but such a request by a presidential nominee was unusual and occasioned additional public expenditure, especially in these difficult economic times, arising from the need to undertake a second public advertisement and extension of the vetting timelines. Mr. Speaker, the committee further observed that he lacks the formal diplomatic training and direct foreign service experience. But this wouldn't be a first, Mr. Speaker, because we have seen people who have similarly served and have done very well. Diplomatic representation at the level of a G7 country such as Canada requires not only management competence, but also familiarity with diplomatic protocol and multilateral engagement, and that is one of the reasons that we raise a bit of concern about him. However, Mr. Speaker, the committee was equally persuaded that the nominee's extensive experience in economic governance, international engagement, and institutional reforms provides a strong basis upon which the necessary diplomatic competence can be developed. Mr. Speaker, this approval should therefore not be interpreted as an affirmation of complete readiness in diplomatic practice, but rather as recognition of the nominee's professional competence, integrity, and potential to effectively represent Kenya's interests upon receiving the necessary institutional support and orientation. Mr. Speaker, with those remarks, I second. Thank you.